Hello everyone, I am DJ Bairam. Welcome back in this lecture. Friends, in the last lecture, we have seen the problem based on Gibbs free energy. Then we have seen chemical equilibrium with example. Then we have covered the last point, that is the law of mass action. So in this lecture we will discuss the law of chemical equilibrium. Then the types of equilibrium. So let's start with the first topic, that is the law of chemical equilibrium. Law of chemical equilibrium. The law of chemical equilibrium. So this law stated that at a given temperature, the product of concentration of the reaction products raise with its stoichiometric coefficient divided by the product of concentration of the reactants raise with its stoichiometric coefficient in the balance chemical reaction at equilibrium is constant is called as equilibrium constant of a reaction. Okay, so what do you mean by law of chemical equilibrium? The law of chemical equilibrium stated that at a given temperature, the product of concentration of the reaction products raise with its stoichiometric coefficient divided by the product of concentration of the reactants raised with its stoichiometric coefficient in the balance chemical reaction at equilibrium constant is called as equilibrium constant of a particular reaction. Okay, so this is the law of chemical equilibrium. Now consider a general equilibrium reaction. Okay, consider a general equilibrium reaction, that is a small a into capital A plus small b into capital B. It gives small c into capital C plus small d into capital B. So this is the reaction exists in a equilibrium. Okay, so friends, in the last lecture we have seen the law of mass action. So according to the law of mass action, the rate of any chemical reaction is directly proportional to the molar concentration of a reacting substances with each concentration raised with its number of moles. Okay, so that is the rate of any chemical reaction is directly proportional to the reacting substances, that is the capital A raised to power small a into capital B raised to power small b. So this is the law of mass action. So according to the law of mass action, we can write this chemical reaction in such a way. So the first, the rate of forward reaction is equal to, so we can write Kf into capital A raised to power small a into capital B raised to power small b. So this is about the rate of forward reaction. Now similarly, the rate of backward reaction is equal to Kr into capital C raised to power small c into capital D raised to power small d. Okay, so this is about the rate of backward reaction. Now consider at equilibrium condition, so we can write Kf into capital A raised to power small a into capital B raised to power small b is equal to Kr into capital C raised to power small c into capital D raised to power small d. Okay, so we can write this forward reaction and backward reaction at equilibrium condition like this. Now we can write Kc is equal to Kr divided by Kf. Okay, is equal to capital C raised to power small c into capital D raised to power small d divided by Kf, that is the capital A raised to power small a into capital B raised to power small b. Here here Kc is the equilibrium constant. Okay, Kc is the equilibrium constant. If we consider the equation number 1, so this equation number 1 is also called as chemical equilibrium. Okay, is also called as chemical equilibrium. Now, according to the thermodynamics, the equilibrium constant involves activity rather than the concentration. We are considering the definition of thermodynamics. So according to the definition of thermodynamics, the equilibrium constant is involve activity rather than the concentration. So the equilibrium constant or the activity of equilibrium constant for an ideal mixture, the activity for an ideal mixture is the ratio of concentration to a standard concentration. Okay, so for an ideal mixture, the activity is the ratio of concentration to a standard concentration or partial pressure divided by standard pressure. Okay, so we have to see 3 points for the pure liquid or pure solid. The activity is taken to be 1. Okay, now second, for an ideal solution, the activity is taken to be the ratio of molar concentration to a standard concentration. So according to the second point, the activity of an ideal solution is the ratio of molar concentration to a standard concentration. So we can write molar concentration divided by standard concentration. Okay, now what are the units? Units are mole per liter. Okay, units are mole per liters for molar concentration and also for the standard concentration. So mole per liter. So here mole per liter gets cancelled. That's why the activity is unitless. Okay. Now third point is that for the gases, the activity is taken to be the ratio of partial pressure to a standard pressure. Okay. Similarly, for the third point, the activity for gases is taken to be the ratio of partial pressure. That means the partial pressure divided by the standard pressure. Here also the unit for pressure is 1 bar. Okay, 1 bar for partial pressure or standard pressure also 1 bar. So here also 1 bar get cancelled and we'll get the unitless activities. So for the law of chemical equilibrium, we have seen 3 important points. First point is that the activity for pure liquid or pure solid is taken to be 1, and second point is that for an ideal solution, the activity will be the ratio of molar concentration to a standard concentration, and the units are mole per liter gets cancelled. And third point is that the activity for gases is taken to be the ratio of partial pressure to a standard pressure. Here also unit get cancelled and we will get the activity is unitless. Okay. Now let's move to another topic, that is the types of equilibrium. Types of equilibrium. Generally, the chemical equilibrium divided into 2 types. First type is homogeneous equilibrium and second one is that heterogeneous equilibrium. Okay. So let's have a look first about homogeneous equilibrium. First type is homogeneous equilibrium. So what do you mean by homogeneous equilibrium? In first type, the reactants and products are in the same phase, is known as the homogeneous equilibrium. For example, hydrolysis of ester CH3COO plus H2O, it gives CH3COOH plus CH3OH. CH3OH. Next example is synthesis of ammonia. Here N2 gas react with 2 moles of H2 gas. It gives the 2 moles of NH3 gas. Okay. So homogeneous equilibria is nothing but in a chemical reaction the reactants and products are in the same phase known as the homogeneous equilibria, and examples are hydrolysis of ester and the synthesis of ammonia. So next type is heterogeneous equilibria. Heterogeneous equilibrium. So what is meant by heterogeneous equilibria? So this is the exactly reverse of the homogeneous equilibria. In homogeneous equilibria, the reactants and products are in the same phase, but here the reactants and product are in the different phase is known as the heterogeneous equilibrium. The reactants and products are in the different phase known as heterogeneous equilibrium. Examples. First example is the decomposition of sodium bicarbonate. 2 moles of NaHCO3 decomposes into Na2CO3 plus carbon dioxide gas plus H2O. Okay. Second example, decomposition of calcium carbonate. So calcium carbonate decomposes into calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide gas. Okay, these are the 2 examples of heterogeneous equilibria. So heterogeneous equilibria is nothing but the reactants and products are in the different phase. The examples are decomposition of sodium bicarbonate and decomposition of calcium carbonate. Okay, I hope you got all these points. So in this lecture we have seen 2 topics. First topic is the law of chemical equilibrium and their derivation, and also the activity of a particular chemical reaction for pure solids and pure liquids. Second, for an ideal solution, and third one is for gases. And we have seen the different types of equilibrium First type is homogeneous equilibrium. Second type heterogeneous equilibrium with a suitable examples. So in the next lecture we will see the perfect gas equilibrium and some problems. Thank you.